Gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs fragrances this holiday season. From the iconic Daisy and Perfect to the all-new Daisy Wild, Marc Jacobs perfume gift sets include everything she needs to feel special. From her favorite fragrance, plus the matching travel spray, holiday gifts don't get much more perfect than this. So if you're looking for a gift inspiration these holidays, gift the remarkable with Marc Jacobs.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Well, I love this TCL TV. I'm just afraid when I go to the store to buy one, I'll say TLC. I got this habit of saying TLC instead of TCL.
Yeah, we just turn on the John Deere Classic.
That has changed our lives around here to have a TV to look at that's got some oomph to it. You know, that
it beats that small 12-inch black and white up in the corner up there.
I love this Deere. Is it Deere Run TPC?
John Deere.
No, but the course.
I
think it's called Deere Run.
I don't even, the quads.
See where that's played, will you, Rook, the John Deere Classic?
The Quad Cities are Dubuque, Davenport,
Moline.
Moline. Is Burlington one of them? Dubuque's not in it.
Where's Reavers?
Davenport.
Is Reavers in there?
He's not.
Davenport.
Well,
Burlington.
I'll go to the Google.
Which one did you say? You just said the
Moline.
One in Illinois. At least I think Burlington's the third one. I can't think of the fourth one.
The TPC Deer Run in the Quad Cities.
Yeah, well, that's our problem here. We're trying to figure out which. I think it's in Burlington. Am I right?
Silvis, Illinois. The community of Silvis, Illinois.
Well, that's not even one of the Quad Cities. Just look up Quad Cities.
I'm doing it right now.
Which are the four Quad Cities? I'm going to
do it. I got it. I'm doing it.
Okay. Burlington, Davenport.
Which are the trio cities?
Moline. No.
I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Davenport and Bettendorf in Iowa.
Okay.
Rock Island and Moline in Illinois.
Burlington's not part of it. Okay.
And Rook, you're saying this course is where?
In Silvis, Illinois.
Which is a suburb of either Moline or Rock Island.
Mm-hmm. Well, we are East Moline as well.
Yep.
Davenport, Bettendorf, Rock, and East Moline.
Right. We got Quad. That's four, baby. It's not the Quint cities.
But it's gorgeous river country.
Yeah, it is nice. It's gorgeous down there. And lots of Cubs fans down there, too. That's Cubs territory.
Right, explain something to me.
Yes.
I was listening to, driving in, I was listening to Judd and Phil.
Okay.
And they were in a conversation they have somewhat frequently, and that is, what's the future of baseball going to be? And they got into the fact that Tampa Bay has the best team ERA since about mid-May. Mm-hmm. Either in all of baseball or the American League.
Yes.
And it's because they have a unique approach to pitching. Would you explain it to me, please?
All right. Well, we are going to talk to Mark Topkin today from the Tampa Bay Times, and you can hear that about 5:15 and get a much better explanation.
All right, but you're a baseball. Your knowledge of baseball has got to be as good as his.
What they are, yeah, but he covers the team, and has for years. Okay, in spring training, I went up there because I was fascinated by the fact that it looked like they were going to try 4 starters and then have a 5th game every time through the rotation where it would be what we were calling a bullpen game. In other words, 4 guys pitch, 3 guys pitch 8 innings, and then somebody pitches 1 inning.
Right.
You know, well, it is morphed into much more than that. They really only have 3 starting pitchers. In other words, 3 traditional starting pitchers.
All right.
By the way, all very good. Blake Snell, the lefty the Twins will face tonight if they're not rained out, is one of the best pitchers in the league, and they're still going to figure out a way to get him on the All-Star team, I would imagine. Then they got Chris Archer, who's been on the DL but is coming off, and he's terrific, and everybody in the league wants him. And then they got a guy named Nathan Eovaldi, who about 4 different times this year has taken a no-hitter into the 7th. Well, so there's only 3 starters.
Okay.
They got one guy named Stanek who started 11 games this year and has only pitched 31 innings. He pitches like 2 innings.
Okay.
In fact, there's a stat out there. He just set the record for the most consecutive scoreless starts, one held by Sandy Koufax. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's only going 2.
Right.
He's only trying to go 2. But so last night, they started a guy they just called up, a guy named Hunter Wood. He got him 3 outs, first inning.
Right.
And then they just started. Then they had another guy that was kind of their long man that they were going to use for 4 or 5 innings. And then they start going to the short bullpen again. So it's just they've basically.
Let me see if I can read.
They've basically phased out. Half the time they phased out the traditional starter, and they're just kind of assembling.
Let me see if I can reinterpret this. They have three official starters. 3 guys and they're all very good. And then, but rather than naming a 4th guy who's not very good as one of the 4 official starters, they eschew that. And they go and say, you know what? We really don't have a 4th starter, so here's what we're going to do today.
They put a guy out there, and they want him to get either 3 or 6 outs to start the game.
What's so novel about this?
What do you describe novel as? Something that doesn't happen? It has never happened. It's the first time in baseball history that a team has approached it like this on a consistent basis. You know, through a 162-game season, 5 times a year, the Twins might say, okay, we got a bullpen game, meaning we're going to use 3 relievers, 3 innings each. But nobody's ever done this as part of their strategy before.
This has become part of their rotation, in other words.
Yes. 3.
You got your 3 starters, game 4.
And there was actually, when Archer was on a DL, they were doing it 60% of the time. Now they're doing it 40% of the time.
Well, they're 4 or 5 games over 500, but still 16 games out in the East.
Yeah, they're not going to make but they were supposed to be terrible. They spent the whole spring dumping salary, and since the season started, they've dumped more salary. But they've pitched.
Who's got the lowest team salary in baseball? Is it Oakland or Tampa?
I don't know. I haven't looked lately. Miami. Miami got rid of everybody. Miami's got to be the lowest salary, and that's why they're drawing $6,000 a game. Also.
Okay. Yeah. But it's safe to say Oakland would be among the lowest salaries.
Oakland just narrowly is below Miami currently.
Really? Yeah. What's Oakland's payroll?
Oakland is at a total of 82.
Miami's still over 82.
They have a lot of dead money, though. Miami does.
But here's the deal. Tampa is under that now. This must be numbers when the season started.
You're right. This might have been at the start of the
season.
season.
Because they got rid of Denard Span and Colomé. They got rid of $12-13 million.
Well, then Oakland's doing miracles again with low salaries.
And Oakland was...
they're 52-41, 9 games out in the West.
Oakland's deal is... when you think they're going to be good, they stink, and when you think they're going to stink, they're good.
They're only 5.5 out in the wild card.
They're moving up.
Miami is dreadful.
Yes, and they're also drawing under 7,000 a game.
Mm-hmm. Why is San Diego always dreadful?
I don't know.
They got that beautiful setting, beautiful ballpark.
Yeah, they're the only team in town now.
Yeah.
Don't have a basketball team,
Right.
Don't have a hockey team, don't have a football team anymore. They're the only team in town. I don't know.
Well, okay.
They've gone to 2 World Series, but they've traditionally they do not. They get the least out of. They've always had cheap owners. They always have guys who won't spend money. You know.
Are they the Timberwolves of baseball, or they just have?
No, Glenn Taylor's not cheap. No, I don't think.
No. I mean, as far as their luck, and they're never. They just never.
Well, when's the last time they were in a series? It was
against the Yankees.
Gwynn was still alive, right? Tony Gwynn?
Yeah.
They got swept against the Yankees
in 99
something like
2000. When did the Yankees play the Mets? 2099 then, I think. The year the Yankees won 114 games.
I meant to ask Dave Dahl what the prospects are of the Twins getting this game in. He said there's periodic thunderstorms all night long.
Well, when's the last time you were outside?
Not till about 10:30 this morning.
Man, it's oppressive. Mm-hmm. Something's going to happen here.
Okay,
we got
something's got to give, is what you're saying.
We pool owners have ordered our companions not to put any water in it because we're going to get plenty of water before this is over. Man, is it hot! Mm-hmm. It's almost as bad as it was in Chicago a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you really did have a hot week out there. Because where I wasn't far from Chicago, and it was hot.
Was the train properly cooled?
Let's not go into the train thing.
Yeah, maybe not. I retract my question.
No more train talk.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll stay away from the train. Right. It's a very novel thing, and when I saw it this spring, I tried to write about it, and it's become even more novel, this pitching approach.
Okay. Just a moment. We are going to be back shortly.
A little rattled. Yes, sir. They are back at Carnoustie next week.
Well, every big hitter in the game is probably already over in Scotland, but you'll get qualifiers from the John Deere, who traditionally, I think, there's a plane waiting for them to take them over.
Yeah, that's what they. And I think we let a couple of guys actually qualify out of the John Deere.
That's
too.
my point.
For but I mean, also the players who are already in the field who are playing here will fly on that plane over there too.
So potentially you could, if you are on the bubble, if you did well in this tournament, you could qualify.
It's like I think last week the 3 or 4 top finishers that weren't already in the British Open got in. If you finished in the top 10 and you weren't already in, you got in.
Okay,
something like
got
that.
it.
Wouldn't Francisco Molinari already be in?
Oh, God, yes.
Well, he's playing at the John Deere.
Yeah, he's over here trying to get all kinds of FedEx points. I had Hollis on the other day, and he said he's come over here, and he's decided to play for the money.
Mm-hmm.
The purse is...
Why else would you play?
Well, the purse here is probably twice what the Scottish Open is.
Oh, God, yes.
It's 6. It's over 6.
Mm-hmm.
The 3M next year will be 6.6.
Where is that money? Break down the 6.6. Well, how would Hollis explain that?
What I understand now, the Champions Tour, you're responsible for. You got to write out checks to various entities. For it was explained to me that for a PGA Tour event, you write them out a check for a certain amount of money.
All right, you write the PGA.
Write the PGA Tour, and then they handle the tour. Yeah. They handle television. They take care of television. They take care because on a Champions Tour, you have to pay. You have to write out a check to the Golf Channel.
Oh,
now $600,000-$700,000. And
but does 3M doesn't have to come up with $6 million?
No, well, I'm not sure how much of it they come up with, but they come up with a big hunk, yeah. And I think the check that you write to the PGA is probably about $10 or $12 million, and then they handle everything, including paying off the purse. So.
In 2017, the payout was $1,008,000 for Bryson DeChambeau.
To win where?
To win at the John Deere Classic.
Okay.
So this is last year's. It said this year the John Deere purse is up over the $5 million mark for the first time. Total purse is $5.6 million, a huge jump from last year's $4.8.
And it's a big league tournament.
And the 3M will be 6.6 next year. So,
oof.
Yeah. So that's it is amazing. It'll be very interesting to see with the short season if the fields are going to be better for these midsummer tournaments because guys want FedEx points because the season Joe, the Tour Championship is like August 23rd through 26th next year.
When is the Tour Championship?
That's the same time.
Oh, it's the same as the Tour?
Yeah, right.
The Tour would have been different than the Tour.
Same one.
What's the latest on Byron Buxton?
They have not played for 3 days. They're going to start playing again tonight because they had their All-Star break.
Okay.
And he's hitting .239. His last game, he had 3 hits. He might be back after the All-Star break. I'm not sure.
What about Sano? Not close?
He's hitting. They said he's lost some weight. He looks better. He's working out. He's taking the road trips down there. He's playing 2 games out of every 3, but then when he's not playing, he shows up. And I got a hunch they're going to keep him down there till August 1st at least. So
what about Santana?
He's pitching tonight, I believe, in Chattanooga, but I don't know. I think Irv said, yeah, I gave you all I had last year. I gave you a good year. You got your money's worth. I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's in a big hurry to come back.
I think it's pathetic.
Well,
not to bring it back to golf.
Yeah.
But I looked at the British Open. 2018 British Open purse is set for $10.5 million. The winner's share.
Is that euros or is that our money?
I bet the winner's $2 million, Rook.
This is the golfnews.net, 1.89.
Mm-hmm. Well, it should be.
That's more than the standard 18% payout according to the PGA Tours.
You'll be named the champion golfer of the year.
Suchi can tell you how you get a ticket for that too.
How do you do that?
You walk up and buy one.
Yep.
Really?
The damnedest thing I've ever seen.
They have no capacity. It's just, okay, here's a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
my claim to fame is using the Porta can right after Padraig Harrington.
Yeah, it's a very...
You're a little up, not on the way out. Hey,
how you doing, Padraig?
What's amazing is you go to one of the big majors here, and the media tent is got 800 people passing stuff out and doing things. You go to the British Open, there's about 8 people over there. The old guy, he's not there anymore, that ran it, had about 2 assistants, and then they had 4 young ladies handing out mimeograph stuff. And
I think the likes of TCL televisions have changed this too, but I always used to say, once we visited, where in the hell did we go?
St. Andrews?
We were at Muirfield.
Muirfield. The condition of the course was so gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And even back then, you couldn't capture that on TV.
No.
The modern TCL TV with the high definition, now you can understand that the British courses are incredibly groomed.
Did you see what Muirfield had to do to get back in the Roto?
No.
Except women membership.
No.
Yeah, because
that'll be rather shocking.
They had thrown them out of the Roto.
Yeah.
And they had a meeting, and I don't think it was by unanimous vote, but they accepted. They're going to accept women members, and now they can have the tournament again.
Did they have a big protest, and then they brought the guy over from USA that had the iron my shirt? Yeah, the iron my shirt.
Make my dinner. Iron my shirt.
But he was in the middle of the protest.
No, he right in the front.
Yeah, right there. Boom.
What was her name? Doris
Annie?
Doris somebody that was the head of the protest that got everybody coming in.
I don't remember.
No, something Burke. I'm thinking it's not
that
Doris
was Burke. Something Burke.
Something Burke. She showed up, and he was 4 feet away from her saying, iron my shirt, make my dinner. And I'm saying this guy voted for Trump. All these years later.
And now they got Condi Rice as a member.
Yeah, they got Condi. That's right. Yeah,
Martha Burke.
Martha Burke.
Yes.
Martha Burke. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your memory.
There was more media at the protest than women. Then Martha brought a busload, and there was about 2 other people there.
Sports Talk will return shortly, but now thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota, at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now.
Stocks rebounded from Wednesday's sell-off, and that pushed the major indexes higher today. Stocks closing almost at their session highs, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 224 points at 24,924. The NASDAQ Composite rose 107, and the S&P 500 gained 24 points. Delta Airlines airline said its fuel costs rose by a third in the latest quarter, and it would work to offset that by reducing expenses and by cutting some flights in the fall. Delta reported record revenue and a better-than-expected profit for its latest quarter, but said higher fuel costs will weigh on profits for the rest of the year. The airline said it plans to trim some underperforming routes after the peak summer travel season ends. Video game maker Activision Blizzard said its Overwatch eSports League will be profitable by the end of this month when the first season wraps up with a championship match to be aired on ESPN. The company said concurrent online-only viewership during the regular season peaked at 437,000 viewers, exceeding expectations. I'm Bruce Vail with your money now on 1500 ESPN.
All righty. Thank you, Bruce. This traffic sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs. A few problems early. Crash on 35 northbound, way up north at County Road 23. The right shoulder there is blocked. A crash on 35W northbound at Highway 113 eastbound. The right shoulder blocked. And debris on the road. Highway 10 up in Coon Rapids at Hanson Boulevard. The left lane there partially blocked. Want to win a rockin' trip from Jersey Mike's and Pepsi? Stop in Jersey Mike's today to enter. No purchase necessary. Sweepstakes ends August 14th. See official rules at PepsiRockThisWay.com. Our 5 Eyewitness News weather forecast: showers and thunder showers, heavy rain likely tonight, a 70 for a low, 84 with showers and thunder showers early tomorrow. Right now, it's 92.
All right. Here's John Hyde in the Sports Talk newsroom.
I just said something to Joe I never thought I'd say.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Off the air.
Sure you want to admit this?
I miss Kenny.
Whoa. Really?
Yes.
I do, too.
I was going to say, not as much as John does.
I miss him a lot. It's partly cloudy.
Because you're allowed to lower your standards on your stories without Kenny there to badmouth you, right?
That's a good point. Maybe I don't miss him.
I haven't had to move my computer so Kenny could go. Really, John? Really?
Yeah. Over his glasses looking at me. Partly cloudy. We're up to 92 degrees. Ooh. Our heat index is a 105.
Never happened before. Never been like this.
You're listening to continuing coverage of Operation Stay Cool on the Garage Logic Radio Network.
I'm glad it's not Fair Week, though. I don't want it to be this hot Fair Week.
No, I'll side with you on that.
Yeah. Sitting on that stage. Yeah.
Well, the smells get a little tawdry.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Twins open up a 4-gamer.
You can't even play pregnant or not.
No.
I think this year we should do it. This year we just bite the bullet and pregnant or not.
No.
Ma'am, are you pregnant? We got a couple. We got a bet going.
Pat do it. We are not doing it.
I think we're only doing it if it's the end of the run. You know.
First, I think ma'am, are you a good sport? And if they say yes, then you can fire away.
Twins open up a 4-gamer against Tampa Bay at Target Field tonight. Kyle Gibson for the Twins. Lefty Blake Snell, who's been good.
Poor Gibby. Gibby gets another bad matchup, man. Yep. Gibby, you give up 2 runs tonight, you lose, Gibby.
We did get an email, Rook. Is the Monty booth going to be open?
I haven't talked to Two Dogs. Monty had his service on the 30th in Wisconsin, and I couldn't attend there, so I will find out from Two Dogs how they're going to work the booth.
Is Two Dogs his assistant?
Yes, his nephew and his assistant, and most likely will take everything over.
Yeah. One more baseball note. I need some sort of ruling from everybody here. It's driving me nuts. There's a new term.
Oh, God.
I've seen it used 3-4 times in the last
ready.
week.
I might not be aware, but I'm not aware of a new one.
The first time I saw it was Manager Molitor, and now I've seen it in several stories about other ball clubs. Instead of saying a pitcher's velocity is good, we're calling it velo.
No.
Velo.
Velo?
No, Foghorn at Rook.
No. That's worse than the bump.
No, Velo's been around for several years here, Johnny.
I'm not going with it. I don't like it.
I just hadn't run into it, apparently.
Yeah, it's Velo.
How much velo does he have off the
short,
bump?
Isn't Velo a computer thing?
It's short for velocity there, Johnny.
Well, I know that's what I just said.
Okay.
But we are so busy in life that we don't have time to say
We
velocity.
don't have time for that other phrase.
Right. Can't say velocity.
Yeah.
News notes from today. A lightning strike sparked a fire at a Duluth church. It caused $75,000 in damage this morning. The Duluth Fire Department says lightning hit Christ Lutheran Church in the Piedmont neighborhood about 5:30 this morning. Crews got there to find a cross on the roof. Firefighters knocked down the flames, quickly contained a fire on the roof. Authorities say damage to the building estimated at $50,000, damage to contents $25,000. Luckily,
there got to be some message in lightning hitting a church.
What was the velo?
Got to be a message.
What was the velo of the lightning?
There's got to be something. The big fella's got to be sending down a message when he hits a church with lightning.
Let's check those books.
Yeah.
Let's check those church books. Huh?
Just a Lutheran church.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Right.
Yes.
Police have identified a suspected burglar from Minnesota, as well as the business owner who shot and killed him outside a business in southern Des Moines. Police say 37-year-old Amand Benjamin Hairstead of Fergus Falls was killed Wednesday morning at Kraft 5-Star Muffler. Investigators think Hairstead was loading items from the business into a stolen truck when the repair shop owner, 67-year-old Thomas Kraft, arrived at work. Police say Hairstead confronted Kraft instead of fleeing, and Kraft shot him. Sergeant Paul Perizic said it looks like the stand-your-ground case, but a decision on any charges will come from the Polk County Attorney's Office. Testimony of...
Why do you drive way down there to rob a store? Aren't there any stores up here in Minnesota to rob?
It was apparently also in a vehicle. He was driving a vehicle he stole here.
Okay.
And drove there, so yeah. Testimony...
We don't want to walk into a place and they say, "How you doing, Paul? You're here to rob us, huh?" I'm going to go far away.
What was the story? It ain't me.
Yeah, that was Reggie Harding for the... He's robbing the 6'11" basketball player, 7-foot basketball player in Detroit came down and robbed the neighborhood store. And they said, "Reggie, you shouldn't do this." And he said, "I ain't Reggie."
It ain't me.
It ain't me.
The testimony of FBI agent Peter Strzok before the House Judiciary Committee has been a complete and amazing show of political theater today. It's still going on, actually.
Oh, is he still there?
Oh, he's still there, and they're still yelling at each other. The senators are yelling at each other. They're yelling at Strzok.
I wish we had some audio of that.
Oh, it's just, it's incredible. And what happens is they'll ask a question, whoever the senator is. If it's a Republican senator who asks a question, he'll answer it, and they'll say, "I don't believe you." Then a Democratic senator will yell at the Republican senator saying, "You asked him and he answered." Mm-hmm. And then when a Democratic senator gets to talk, he doesn't ask a question. He'll just start railing about Donald Trump. Okay. And then the Republicans yell at him.
In other words, it's your average hearing.
Oh,
it's a
God,
controversial hearing.
Just amazing. Just but fun. It's been fun. That might be a bad word to use, but it has been fun to watch. An estimated 49.1% of American adults battled to lose weight from the years 2013 to 2016. That according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, with those between the ages of 40 and 59 doing most of the exercising. Exercise, eating less, consuming more fruits and vegetables, and drinking more water were the most common strategies for that 49.1%. The least common, skipping meals, cutting down on fatty foods. The data also shows that weight loss efforts increase with income. 56.4% of women tried to lose weight versus 41.7% of men. 66.
Well, here's an example right in front of you, a guy who successfully did it right there.
Right here, baby.
Yes, that's the man.
It only cost him one body part.
It was just an organ.
What are you going to do? It's not needed.
It wasn't even needed. Not even needed.
It's part of the program.
66% of
that was not a good thing there.
60.
Thank God nobody's listening.
Used to have it. Used to be a client, I guess.
66. Never mind. We don't need the rest.
No, they're a spectacular client.
Back onto there.
It works.
Yeah, it works for me.
Yes.
One Minnesota college student will have a head start on paying off student loans thanks to the Minnesota Lottery.
Oh, really?
Well, there's apparently a new Minnesota Jackpocket app that you can get in your phone now to buy tickets for the Powerball. Oh. 20-year-old Brandon Stevenson won $1 million with a Powerball ticket, the first one to win using the new Minnesota Jackpocket app.
He spent $1.5 million, but he's got $1 million for him.
So wait a minute. Obviously this links up to a credit card or a debit card or something.
Yeah,
but how can they verify age?
I think we'll leave that to the lawyers.
Who's he look like? The head of the lottery?
What are you, Columbo? Yeah, one more thing here. How old are you?
Well, how old do you have to be to play? 18?
It's 18.
I have no idea.
18.
I think 18.
Yeah. So he's 20. Yeah. I don't know, Chris. Stevenson, though, is a Concordia University student. He said he does not play the lottery regularly, according to the release from the Jackpocket. The app, which allows users to play lottery games via their phone, made its debut just 2 weeks ago in Minnesota.
Is $1 million enough to cover college tuition these days?
Stevenson claiming his winnings at a press conference this afternoon.
Our Concordia or the one
Yes.
in Moorhead? Our Concordia.
One in Marshall.
One in St. Paul.
Concordia, St. Paul.
A lot of questions, John.
There's a lot. This is a simple little cute story, I thought. And boy, you guys are just peppering.
Well, we're kind of
I
playing
asked
the role
a
of
question
Kenny.
that's answerable, unlike Knothead.
I'm gonna look it up. What's the app called? What is it called?
It's called the Minnesota Jack Pocket app.
Pocket app.
Okay.
Minnesota's oldest woman celebrated her 111th birthday yesterday. Evelyn Klein's friends at St. Anthony Health
I
and
guarantee you she didn't celebrate it. I bet she said, "Get
Look,
out
didn't
of my
we
leave
talk
me
to her
alone."
once on the radio? Am I thinking of the same woman?
She's how old was she?
Well, she's 111 now, right, John?
Is it Annie Milner?
Yesterday. No, this is Evelyn Klein.
We talked to, I think, Annie Milner, I believe.
Annie, we must have lost Annie
I
at
think
some
so.
point then. Yeah. Evelyn's friends at St. Anthony Health and Rehabilitation treated her to a musical performance and sweet treats. She says she's grateful for the show of love. She said, "I just don't know what to say. I'm just left speechless." The secret to long life, according to Evelyn, she never smoked, never drank. So,
Oh, what the hell's the point of living to
Not
be
making that,
111?
right?
then?
for the first time, Netflix has come out on top of the platform with the most Emmy nominations. The streaming giant received 112 nominations for the 70th annual Primetime Emmys. That's up more than 20 from 2017 when it scored 91. Netflix ends a 17-year winning streak for HBO, which previously topped the nominations. Netflix aided by projects like The Crown, Stranger Things, Godless, and Glow. And HBO trailed just behind Netflix this time around. They had 108 nominations.
Don't forget their best show of the year.
Which one?
American Vandal.
All right.
American Vandal?
American Vandal.
Just a moment, please.
You know, the other good thing about Kenny not being here this
Yes.
week, he's not able to make faces at Rook about some of these bumps.
Right. These are all going out to
terrible.
Kenny. They're all going out to Kenny.
That song has been in our bump rotation about 20 years, though.
We have the
That
power
one
to
right
change
there.
it.
Yeah.
A homeless Florida man with no arms has been charged with stabbing
I
a
saw
Chicago
that.
tourist.
He's got to get credit, I think.
Why'd he do it?
Dedication.
That's what John's
What kind
gonna
of
tell
stabbing
us.
was it, Rook?
John's going to tell us right now.
Miami Beach police say 46-year-old Jonathan Crenshaw held a pair of scissors with his feet and stabbed 22-year-old Cesar Coronado just after midnight Tuesday. The Miami Herald reports that Crenshaw is a popular fixture in the area, known for painting on canvases with his feet along a trendy spot in South Beach.
I ain't paying that. I'm not buying one of those paintings.
According to the arrest report, Crenshaw says he was lying down when Coronado approached him and kicked him in the head. Police say Crenshaw stabbed Coronado twice and left the scene. A friend who was traveling with Coronado said they asked Crenshaw for directions when he suddenly jumped up and stabbed Coronado.
So he didn't kick him. So he either kicked him in the head or he didn't kick him in the head.
That's correct, yes. He was taken to the hospital. Coronado was. He'll be fine, even though he was stabbed twice in the arm. Crenshaw has been charged with aggravated
Probably
battery.
can't get a lot of force going with your feet.
No, because a knife, it's momentum,
Well,
isn't it?
depends upon how long he hasn't had arms. If it's been his whole life, I bet he's pretty damn
No,
good
that's
with
true.
his feet.
Yeah.
Hope the guy didn't ask him for a fingernail clipper.
That joke's already been used by others on Twitter.
Damn
it.
A Massachusetts man, you know, sometimes when you buy Powerball tickets, do you ever buy two with all the same numbers? What would the point of that be?
No, I just buy one.
Yeah.
But I would not buy two with the exact same
You don't
numbers.
get double. No.
Well, listen to this. There's a game in Massachusetts where you win $100,000 if you match numbers.
Okay.
So a man said he had a strange feeling about a lottery drawing. He bought 9 identical tickets, and guess what?
He hit it.
He won $900,000.
What?
Yeah.
How come he gets?
It's not Powerball. It's a special
So it's a $100 prize. He just won 9 times.
$100,000 every time you match. So
Well, that's pretty good.
most people wouldn't buy, I wouldn't think. No. Robert Lundstedt said he bought 4 tickets for the Massachusetts Lottery's mass cash drawing at Tucci's Supermarket in West Bridgewater. Said he had a gut feeling about the drawing. Led him to buy 2 more tickets at the Quick Stop in West Bridgewater, 2 more at the Corner Market in West Bridgewater, and 1 last ticket at Cumberland Farms in Bridgewater. He said,
Spread the wealth.
He said, I had some change when I bought a Gatorade. I said, let's do it. Lundstedt gave one ticket to his son before the drawing and another to his daughter, keeping 7 for himself.
This is really fascinating.
I would at that point.
I think it is pretty fascinating.
Hey, Timmy, can I get that ticket back? I think I gave you the wrong one.
Lundstedt said he plans to use some of his $700,000 to pay off his mortgage. Kids said they'll pay off college
How about
loans.
the wife gets nothing, or is the wife not in the picture?
There's no mention of a wife.
No mention of the wife.
Yeah.
We might add a divorce.
Rook's,
Honey, I won the lottery. Pack your bags.
Where are we going?
Rook's comment there about maybe asking for the tickets back. There is a story today also. I did not bring it in. It wasn't as interesting. A woman had her nephew sign the ticket with her, a lottery ticket. They won $100,000. She's suing him because she said, I just put his name on there for fun. I want all the money.
Hey, John, you mentioned Twitter, right?
You're right.
Did
That
you
wasn't
just
as
mention
interesting.
Twitter a minute ago? You mentioned Twitter a minute ago, right, John?
Sure.
Yeah.
Just say yes.
Sure. Yes, I did.
Actually, I think you mentioned
they're
Twitter.
throwing out the phonies, right? They're throwing out the phonies.
Yep.
I was over. Last time I looked, I was 34 something. Now I'm 33 something. Either I said something very offensive, or I had a bunch of phonies on
Or
there. I
you
had
went and
1,000
blocked
of
a
them.
bunch of people again.
I haven't blocked anybody in a long time.
You must have had some phonies. Yep.
I had some phonies. Yeah.
You know, there are some people in town that buy Twitter followers.
Oh, stop it now. Let me tell you about a
Who
couple.
would they be?
Well,
I don't know. You mean radio tapes?
Yep.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's not cheeky. Or that is cheeky.
That is cheeky, yeah. Let me tell you about a couple guys that got stuck in places. In North Carolina, a bad criminal. Plans went awry when he got stuck in a ventilation duct at a Golden Corral in Mount Airy. Employees in the kitchen noticed the smoke was not ventilating properly from an exhaust fan over the store. Manager went and looked to see what the problem was, found out that 59-year-old Charlie Walker of Mount Airy was stuck in the duct. Members of the police and fire departments removed him before transporting him to the hospital. He was released from the hospital and immediately arrested. Faces charges of felony, breaking and entering. He's been under $10,000 unsecured.
Isn't Mount Airy where
that was
the show?
That was where
Andy Griffith
was. Yeah.
Andy Griffith?
But that Mayberry. Mount Airy is the real Mayberry. That's, yes.
Maybe
You learn something here all the time. By the way, so he'd been up there for a while because he must have been trying to break in when the Golden Corral was not open.
That's probably correct.
So the next morning at breakfast, they noticed that it wasn't.
Is he
vented.
okay, John?
Well, they took him to the hospital and released him from the hospital after treating him, so he must be okay.
And then they took him to jail.
To jail, yes. In Fayetteville, police and firefighters were called out to a man reportedly trapped in the sewer early Wednesday. Fayetteville firefighters received a 911 call about 8:15 in the morning from Keith Berner. Keith had been walking his dog with his wife. Berner said they heard banging and noticed a manhole cover was open. He told firefighters they looked into the sewer and saw a man who started screaming and cursing at them. Berner said he backed up and called 911. The man said he was too weak to get out of the sewer by himself. When emergency personnel got there, it took about an hour and a half to get the man out. Berner said they figured out he was about halfway up the block. One of the firefighters crawled down. They put a tarp down and pulled him out with the tarp. The man was seen walking away with firefighters, appeared to be okay. Firefighters and police said they have no idea why or how the man was in the sewer.
They know, they just don't want to tell us for privacy reasons.
He was extricated at 8:45 in the morning.
That's something that I'm never going to get caught doing. Walking in the sewer. Not doing that.
I just get down here and find something.
That big crocodile could be after me. I still wouldn't go down the sewer. I'd rather get at.
We do have a breaking news item from Target Field, Patrick.
Okay.
The Twins lineup is out, and batting sixth, your designated hitter,
Willens Ostadio. I got a sacred promise from manager Molitor when I was leaving yesterday morning. I said, how come you don't put my guy Willie in anymore? And he said, I'm saving him for Snell. So I knew he'd play.
Saving him for Snell.
The guy leading the league in ERA.
Where's he from?
Williams Ostadio. He's from Venezuela.
Uh-huh.
And he was signed as a 160-pound shortstop at age 16. He's put on 100, I'd say. Just 100.
Well, if it's
5'9".
John, do you have good traffic?
Yes.
What's coming up, Patrick?
Well, we're going to talk to Mark Topkin about the very topic you brought up today. He's a longtime baseball writer at Tampa Bay Times, and I'm not kidding when I say this, one of the best beat writers in the country. And he'll try to explain what the hell Tampa's doing with his pitchers and how come it's working. Mm-hmm. They were supposed to be terrible.
Well, I am amused that you say this shouldn't be done this way.
No, I'm not saying it shouldn't be done.
You're saying it's never been done.
Never been done. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I don't think too many people are going to do it this way because, the best thing to have in baseball is still great starting pitching.
Right.
I mean, the guy goes 7, that makes life a lot easier. The reason Houston's probably going to win the World Series again is they got Verlander and Garrett Cole and Dallas Keuchel. Great starters, but when you don't have them, it's an interesting approach.
Well, why did it take so long?
Well, it's a budget thing for them more than anything. They can't afford like big time starting pitchers. They gave the Twins Odorizzi, basically made a trade to get rid of him because they didn't want to pay him $6 million.
And he has not been worth $6 million.
No, but he's that's right. But they've what's amazing about them is they're 4 games over 500, and they basically devoted their offseason to getting rid of payroll. Mm-hmm. And next year they're going to have when this season ends, they'll have $20 million in obligations for next year. Not too much.
No, that's not plenty. Much. I wonder how urgently they'll try to wait out the rain. If the rain's spotty, they're going to try to play.
If it's spotty, they'll try to play. But they can play 2 tomorrow, too. They'll play a split doubleheader tomorrow if they feel like the weather's terrible. That would be my guess. So.
Well, could be monsoons, according to you, but you've been outside more recently than me.
Man, it's humid. It's miserable. It doesn't get this miserable less often in the great state of Minnesota, but it is humid.
You've never been in Florida when it's like this, have you?
I've been there in the summer a couple of times. I was in Orlando once. It was unlivable.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. The John Height Newsroom and Weather Bureau is reporting 94 degrees.